RedCentreNATS.com.au, the Red Centre Nats, number 12 for our part of the world. And as you know, we are well and truly putting our shoulder to the Festival of the Wheel. Joining me on the phone is a lady who's had more than just her fair share of experience within the automotive industry, particularly the show car judging, automotive painter. She's a racer. She's a content creator. All of these things add up to one name, Durbs, a.k.a. Durbs, or Rachel Durbridge, joining me on the phone today. Nice to have you. Thanks for taking the time to chat to us today, Rach.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on board.
Always. And thanks for being a part of this year's Red Centre Nats. Now, just bring me into the loop. Is this your first ever Nats in the outback of Australia, or have you been to a few of these in the past?
No, I've been coming since 2016 and I've loved every single one of them.
Okay. You're a top show car judge. How do you get to become a top show car judge? Tell us a little bit about your background as far as that goes, Rachel.
Yeah, no dramas. So I've been a spray painter, automotive painter for the last 23, 24 years. So, and I definitely love the car scene. I've been going to car shows ever since I was little. I've just loved cars my entire life. So becoming part of the CentreNATS team, doing the Red Centre Nats, Summer Nats, and all the other Nats that we have on board is just part of something that I've always wanted to do. So I'm truly humbled to be part of that.
We're very lucky to have you here on board with the team. You're also a racer, so can you just elaborate to the listener what sort of racing you've done in the past with cars?
Yeah, for sure. So I've done tarmac rally and I've done off-road rally as well. I do love them both. I'll do anything, go-karts as well, motorbikes. I just love anything with a motor. It's motorsport to me, and then always just setting new goals and doing what you want to do and just, having some fun.
How many years have you been in the actual car judging scene?
Since 2016.
Okay, and how do you get picked for that specifically?
They do have a bit of a process, and it is we do some shadow judging sometimes, and I was just an up-and-comer through the industry, and I just was super passionate about it, and I wanted to go to shows, but I wanted to do more than just go to shows. I wanted to be involved in some capacity, and, having the eye for detail definitely helps along that way, and being a very fair, non-biased person and judge just for all cars and all community, definitely helped that role.
So let's just rewind a little bit. When you talk about shadow judging, I suppose that's in the vetting process of you applying to become a judge. So that would be like, for example, the judges have given their view on or opinion on a car. You're shadow judging that, and based on what you imagine your results or what you would judge that car on is kept quiet and to the side until they release theirs, or you release your opinions first and then the judges actually release theirs, and then they sort of like weigh them up, apples for apples sort of thing. Is that right?
Yeah, very much to a degree along those lines. The only difference is when you shadow judge, the real judges at that stage, like the ones that are on hand, you're pretty much their little apprentice and you're learning.
Okay.
You're taking on board how they do what they do and why they do what they do and why it's so crucial and important and what to look for. And every show is different to a degree depending on what categories are within the show. But you're definitely just watching them and learning from them. They are the experts. And it's a very eye-opening experience to do.
Has any car in the patina category ever been judged and won an event? I'm sure they would have won an event at some stage along the lines. For Grand Champion, that's usually elite vehicles and the street elite vehicles that go for it. So it's very hard for a patina vehicle to do that, compete and win. But in saying that, also, you actually have the merits of it's a driving event. It's not just about what the car looks like. So if you can drive the wheels off of it and it's patinaed and it's got, your engineering and all the other things that go along with it, you could very well take it out too. So there's room for everyone, and we do love a good patina car. So it's not to say that it won't happen. Do you ever get asked to judge survivor cars?
Oh, yes, we definitely do, and we very much appreciate them because we understand that it takes a lot of hard work to bring something back to life and rejuvenate it and restore it. But when you get a true survivor, there's always something so very elegant about that, and very just about history and where it came from, longevity and whatnot. So, yes, judging those cars is super important as well.
It's almost like, as far as the contestant goes or the car owner goes, it's as important to them to keep that car in its original spec from its days as and when it rolled off the production line and survived to its current condition. And sometimes that includes having a few bangs and knocks and a couple of scratches and maybe a bit of crow's feet in the paint, but it still holds good to its original sort of, shall we say, patina again.
Yeah, for sure. That's its life, that's its history, and every single mark has its own little story. So we actually really do respect a very good survivor, and it's hard to keep a car, that spec of survival mode too. So kudos to those guys that can actually do that too.
Yeah, yep. What are you looking forward to this year's Red CentreNATS? Every year there's a little bit of something different, a little bit of a change to the year before. So what's your favourite event, just out of interest, Rachel?
There very much is one thing that stands out right now to me that I'm super excited to see, and usually it's on the Thursday night down at the street parade.
Yeah.
It's where all at Bojangles they do the ride through of the pub with all the motorbikes. That is going to be insane. They did it last year, and it was just the coolest thing I have ever seen.
How often are you involved in the motorcycle scene when it comes to various car shows, bike shows and the like? Because we're combining cars and bikes, as we've been doing now for a few years, on and off. So this year's definitely going to have a bit of a heavier focus on bikes, and sometimes bikes are also put in for show judgment as well, aren't they?
They definitely are. There's all kinds of bikes too. And to go on that journey, so going for a cruise in a car is definitely one thing. Going for a cruise on a bike is a whole different other thing too. It's freedom. So there's definitely lots of people that bring their pride and joys to these shows, and we judge them along the lines of how we judge the cars too. And there's some beautiful bikes out there. There's restored, there's original, all kinds also. So they're just as important as the cars.
Yeah, I think the whole thing about Red CentreNATS is the freedom of place to be, and that we can bring all types of vehicles, not just here to be on show, but to drive around the streets as well, which gives it its very unique twist on an event that is really not shared in any other kind of event in the entire country.
Yeah, the fact that it takes over the entire town, and it's no matter what walk of life, and it's sons, daughters, parents, grandparents, it's everything. It's a whole family show, and the fact that it is spread out throughout the entire town is magnificent. And the fact, who else gets to travel to the centre of Australia, see that red dirt, see those rolling canyons, and just take it all in as the sun sets and the party still continues. And
to be able to drive on some of the best roads in Australia without potholes, that's also got to be a bit of a bonus as well, right, Rach?
Oh, that is an absolute bonus. The streets are actually amazing to cruise on, and that, in saying that, the street parade where all the cars do that lap and everyone lines the streets and everyone comes out and just waves, and that is a magical moment itself. It's
very much a community thing. By the way, for those who've just literally pulled up to our bumper, we're talking to Rachel Durbridge, who is otherwise known also as Durbs, and she's had like 20 years in the automotive industry, a leader in automotive painting and custom finishes, and an experienced racer across multiple motorsport disciplines, if you hadn't already heard us talk about that. One of the questions I'd like to ask, and I'm sure anyone else would also, because, you've got to put your money where your mouth is, and is it okay to ask you what particular style or type of vehicle you have, and have you ever entered a vehicle into the Red CentreNATS in years gone by? Because we're coming up to 10 years now that you've been coming and going to this.
Yeah, definitely. My dream is to actually bring one of my vehicles up there. I've always been working so hard that I don't get the time to actually enter my own car, but I was actually thinking for next year that if I've got a 79 C10 square body truck, a Chevy.
Yeah.
So I would love to just put my camping gear in that and my travelling gear and do a road trip and get a whole bunch of other people that are towing their cars up and whatnot, and just do a nice, good road trip. There's plenty of good stops along the way, and it's just the experience. And then have my car there, and who knows, it can even be our judge bus and run us around a little bit.
Oh, wonderful! So you've got not only a Survivor, but a very usable daily Survivor if you want it to be.
Yeah, definitely. I probably will restore this one at a state. I have already done an LS swap.
Nice.
It was from the States. I went and bought it over there at the start of last year. Picked it up from Hollywood and put it on a boat and sent it over, and the engine was a bit tired, so chucked that in there, and I've done a little bit of restoration on the seats. But other than that, having an old car and taking it to events like the Red CentreNATS is the whole purpose of having them.
You've kept it as a left hooker?
Yes, definitely. It's a left hook, and it will stay that way. I absolutely love driving left hook.
That's a girl. It's a lot of fun, and I think it holds good to its original traditions. That's very important as far as that goes as well. And speaking of which, guys and girls alike, if you want to have a chat with Rachel, I'm sure she'd make herself available to talk to you about the whole process she's had to go through.
when it comes to bringing a car out from the US of A. There's a lot of hoops that you've got to jump through, but it is a very satisfying thing if you can get it done right. It's not the easiest of steps to do. I know I've brought out a left-hand drive vehicle myself over the years gone by, but it is a process, but you get to meet some great people, and that's part of the whole concept of Red CentreNATS, is rubbing shoulders with those in the same hobby and in the same interests and the enthusiasm that comes with it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's the car community. To me, it feels like one giant family spread across the whole of Australia, and the people that you meet, you'll just make friends forever.
So let's talk a little bit now, and wrapping things up, about how people can get involved. And I'm figuring that they're also looking for volunteers still with Red CentreNATS. They've just got to go to the website, right, and go from there?
Yeah, if you jump on the website and go enter there and have a look, to be a volunteer at Red CentreNATS is truly one of those things that's a life-changing moment also. I know I've done it over the years and volunteered at many different car shows, and Red Centre is, if you can get part of the volunteer crew, definitely one of those things that would set you in a whole new experience that you never would have thought possible.
Yeah, so be a part of it, be a part of this community, and be a part of Red CentreNATS number 12 this year. And Rachel, it's been great to chat to you. Look forward to catching up with you this year when you make it here to the outback of Australia for Red CentreNATS 12.
Amazing. I can't wait to be up there, and I can't wait to have this chat in person.
Yeah, can't wait to have you here on the radio, and thanks for taking the time to chat to us today.
No dramas, you guys. All have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
So there you have it. It's something for everyone, and everyone has something in there when it comes to Red CentreNATS. Just chatting to Rachel Durbridge, or Durbs as she is known. She is a automotive painter. She is a top show car judge. She has been inspired by the automotive industry for so many years, and she is also putting her shoulder to the festival of the Red CentreNATS wheel this year. www.redcentrenats.com.au. Follow the links from there, and yeah, we could do with volunteers, but we could also do with you being here for it and be a part of it. It's the Father's Day weekend in September, and back again for 2026, Red CentreNATS 12, and proudly supported by Breakfast on the Beach on 8HA.